It's Giselle, the President of the Graduate Students' Union here. How can we serve you better? I hope that you are well, and I've been speaking to several of you as you face into the summer dissertation period, and you're very tired after assignments and exams, and the research work ahead is making you feel trapped. Know that I understand, and that I'm even more determined after listening to you this week to help you to get ahead. I've several projects launching, and one which means a lot to our students who've had relatives and friends touched by COVID-19 in India is a fundraising project which we will leave up for anyone to donate to. I understand that it's very tough for many of you, so far away from home, and for those of you who are at home, both Abby and I understand the difficulty as we've been working with students on the ground in India to find beds and oxygen cylinders for students' relatives in the past few weeks. We're also doing our level best to respond to everyone here in the meantime during Irish time. I understand at this time as you hold online classes that you might feel extra lonely wherever you are, and please know that I understand, as it happens to everyone at the end of term. I've poked out some work to try and keep our community together, and we're opening up a fund for you to try new ideas and bring them to light. If you're struggling this week, I'm sending you support, and know that you can get me on 086 412 0444 if you need me. Let's keep moving forward. TCD GSU stands up for India. India is going through a heartbreaking second wave of COVID-19 infections at this time, with numbers reaching above 380,000 cases reported, with 3,600 deaths per day. And this is expected to be surpassed in the coming months. India is losing 243 lives per minute. As bad as the numbers seem, some conservative estimates suggest the actual numbers are at least twice that. Images of a sea of makeshift cremation pyres and burial grounds inundate the social and news media every day. Currently, oxygen cylinders, ventilators and ICU beds are in short supply in the worst hit cities. People are waiting for days outside hospitals, and family members are scrambling to produce oxygen while critical patients wait and die. More recently, vaccines, COVID-19 testings and PPE equipment shortage have started to occur due to the sheer load of cases in certain areas. Deeply concerned by the impact that COVID-19 is having on lives and livelihoods of our Indian community, both here in Ireland and abroad, we, the President Giselle Scanlon and Vice President Abhishweta Bhattacharjee and the Indian student community of Trinity College would like to seek your support in collecting relief funds. The funds collected will be distributed and sent to organisations on the ground in India, who will then use them to purchase oxygen cylinders and concentrators, ventilators, PPE kits and other necessary equipment. We have set up a special GSU team which has been working closely with people on the ground in India over the past few weeks in our best capacity. Because we now have a much deeper understanding of the challenges and we see the urgency and the intensity of the crisis firsthand, we've decided to also raise much needed funding. Every single euro will help bring about a positive impact in India. The link to donate is here. Student partial refunds. I have a meeting this week to discuss your student experience this year and share the results of our student survey and discuss the situation where we have requested student partial refunds. Many of you I know have asked us about this, and we're doing our very best to negotiate a solution. If you would like to reach out to either myself or Abby, on president@tcdgsu.ie or vice-president@tcdgsu.ie to discuss. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. We apologise that this is something which is very slow to negotiate. Part-time job opportunities for computer science PGs. The GSU understands and appreciates how difficult yet important it is to find work during the current pandemic, especially when it comes to upskilling yourselves. Therefore, we have collaborated to examine the possibility of bringing in part-time work opportunities to you from outside of Trinity College. This week we have sourced jobs for computer science students to help you gain experience in your own field and to help build your profile with Code Institute, which is a software development educator. We are working to expand this project and will expand our network over the coming months to bring exciting job opportunities to postgraduate students within diverse fields. If interested in a part-time computer science role, please email president@tcdgsu.ie or vice-president@tcdgsu.ie and we will answer any questions and outline the specific computer science jobs available to you. A new fund with money to help bring your postgrad idea to life. If you've got an idea to support the postgraduate community or PG wellbeing in Trinity and you need funds to get your idea off the ground, the Graduate Students' Union Community Fund will support your student-led initiative, social events, outreach, workshops, publications or artistic projects organised between July and November 2021. Any student class rep may apply before 5 p.m. June 25th, and we have a pool of postgrads on this fund's panel, so no idea is too unusual. For example, a socially distanced picnic, which would give your class a treat in July, would be a super example. Good luck with coming up with your ideas. Email president@tcdgsu.ie for more details. The Rainbow Group Student Counselling Service, Wednesday, June 2nd. The Rainbow Group aims to provide an affirming space for all members of the LGBTQ+ community to improve their mental health and resilience through providing support to one another as well as receiving support from professional group facilitators and SCS staff. At SCS, they recognise that students who are not members of the LGBTQ+ community might experience inequality, prejudice or bias during their lives based on gender identity or sexual orientation, which can cause increased stress during their college careers. Members of this group will have space to process concerns and stressors through a strengths-based, non-pathologizing format. All Trinity students who identify as members of the broader LGBTQ+ community are welcome and encouraged to join. Contact Brendan Glob for details or fill out this form to join. Regent House Study Space, opening and free hot water. It was with a heavy heart that we closed the door on the 1937 reading room on Monday as electricians move in to rewire the building, and we have moved to Regent House and the exam hall instead. Each desk in Regent House has a power supply and there is peace there and safe study space. The building is through a set of doors under front arch and can be found here. We've installed a Lavazza machine in Regent House for you to access free hot water. And just a little note to say that last year, when I negotiated free hot water across Trinity College main campus as Vice President, it made our daily lives a little easier. These things are in place because of each of you who showed me that hot drinks and hot food are imperative to you. I've pushed for our main teaching hospital campuses in St James's Hospital and Tala Hospital to have services over the summer too. And I know that it's only a tiny thing in comparison to the heroic work done by students who are working to save lives, but keeping study spaces and libraries open with access to hot water is a tiny practical help. All staff and students can access free hot water for tea, coffee, hot chocolate in Trinity Cafe and the Perch Cafe, in the Arts Building and the Buttery, and from a new machine in Regent House, which was installed today. In Tala Hospital, the cafe will be reopening in the next few weeks, and there's free hot water in the Old Stone Building in St James's Hospital by bringing your own cup. I visited both hospitals this week to examine this, plus College Services has facilitated me in my negotiations for extending opening hours for postgraduate student study spaces in Regent House from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Sunday, the exam hall 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Sunday, to replace the 1937 reading room over the summer months. The Business School and Kinsale Hall are also open, and computer labs in the basement in the Arts Building. Hopefully having these spaces open will offer a little rest space and a tiny comfort to students and our medical heroes at this time. Issues having impact on non-EU PhD students. I've partnered with the President of the University of Limerick to write to Minister Simon Harris on behalf of international non-EU PhD students concerning visa permissions for spouses and partners of international students, which is currently unclear. Also, similarly, the 7-year visa limit on student visas for international students is ambiguous and unfair. It precludes an international student from availing of the third level graduate programme, where studying undergraduate level 8 and then progressing to level 10, a student will have reached the 7-year limit. The 7-year visa limit is cumbersome and bureaucratic for those of you progressing to level 10. These decisions are affecting the mental health and well-being of international PhD students, and I'm having to have this addressed immediately by the Minister and the Department of Justice. Digital passport queries. Many of you have asked about travel and obtaining a digital passport. I've queried about this for you, and it will be 6 weeks from July 1st before the system will be in place to issue e-certificates, which includes a vaccination history and whether or not you had COVID-19 and when you've had it, etc. And if you've had it, to the extent it means that you will need to be vaccinated. Currently, no GP system in the country is linked up to do this. Most people have had their tests from their local GP surgery. Most tests last month were all referrals from GPs, so that's where the results are, as well as in the National Reference Lab, so there isn't any template at the moment for this to appear. The HSE has been at the forefront of the digital framework for this, but as of yet, no GP in the country has been asked how these results might be accessed. So July 1st for digital passports is, I'm told, unfortunately very optimistic. We will continue to work for you and continue to fight for your rights. My very best to each and every one of you. Please stay well. You know where we are if you need us. Giselle, Abby and the GSU team.